As I stepped into the grandiose halls of Hotel Crikvenica, I couldn't help but feel a sense of nostalgia wash over me. The ornate chandeliers, the lavish furnishings, and the warm, golden lighting all seemed to whisper promises of a luxurious getaway. But dear friends, do not be deceived. Behind this facade of opulence lies a tale of woe, a narrative of neglect, and a chronicle of catastrophic customer service. As I made my way to the bar, I was greeted by a bartender who seemed as though he'd rather be anywhere else. His eyes, once bright and sparkling, now dimly lit with a sense of resignation. I ordered 4 different cocktails, including the Long Island, expecting a symphony of flavors and a delightful buzz. But what I got was a sorry excuse for a mixed drink with a paltry 0.2 alcohol content. The bastards had watered down the liquor, no doubt to cut costs and line their pockets with gold. I mean, who does that? It's like they wanted to ensure that I wouldn't even get a decent buzz going. And don't even get me started on the service. The waitress, bless her soul, seemed to think that her sole purpose in life was to ignore me. I sat at the table for 15 minutes, waiting for her to take my order, while she busied herself with God knows what. The table, still cluttered with the remnants of the previous patrons, reeked of stagnation and neglect. It was as if they'd given up on providing even the most basic level of service. But I thought to myself, perhaps the food would redeem this wretched establishment. Oh, how wrong I was. The wok dishes, which I'd been salivating over since I perused the menu, were a travesty. The noodles, overcooked and mushy, tasted like they'd been sitting in the fridge for a week. And the meat, I use the term loosely, was a sorry excuse for a protein source. It was as if they'd taken a few scraps of leather, tossed them in a wok, and called it a day. And then there was the coffee. Dear Lord, the coffee. It was as if they'd taken all the bad coffee beans they could find, ground them up into a sad, pathetic powder, and served it with a flourish. I mean, who serves coffee that tastes like someone poured mud into a cup? It's an abomination, a travesty, a culinary sin. As I sat there, nursing my sad, pathetic excuse for a coffee, I couldn't help but notice the documentary playing on the big screen TV. A documentary about Hitler's Germany, of all things. The irony was not lost on me. It was as if the hotel was trying to make some sort of twisted statement about the dangers of authoritarianism, while simultaneously engaging in their own brand of bureaucratic despotism. I asked my server about the documentary, and she gave me a blank stare, as if I'd just asked her to solve world hunger. It was then that I realized the staff wasn't just poorly trained, they were utterly clueless. As I left the hotel, I couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness, a profound melancholy that seemed to permeate every fiber of my being. It was as if I'd lost something precious, something that could never be regained. The nostalgia that had once drawn me to this place now seemed shallow, a cheap facade hiding a rotten core. So, dear friends, let this be a warning.
Okay, so I was looking into things happening around Hotel Crikvenica, just seeing what goes on. It's not great, honestly. Businesses around here, they can be a little sneaky with money. Like currency exchange places, total mess. They advertise 0 commission, which sounds good, right? But then the exchange rate is awful. Seriously, tourists near Hotel Crikvenica getting ripped off by 10% extra. Can you believe that? It's just taking advantage. I bet those people were so stressed the rest of their vacation, feeling cheated. Probably spent ages trying to get their money back or just gave up and wrote it off as a lesson. And the exchange place, they keep doing it because, well, people keep falling for it, sadly. Then there are the taxis. Oh, the taxis. Near Hotel Crikvenica, drivers pretend their meter is broken or take the longest route possible. It's always the foreigners, always. I mean, come on, it's so unfair. I imagine the tourists, they arrive excited, then get this huge taxi bill and just feel defeated. Probably complain to the hotel, maybe to the police, but it's hard to prove, and the taxi driver probably just laughs all the way to the bank. It's just greedy. And this is the worst one, I think. Rental shops, the ones that rent out scooters or bikes near Hotel Crikvenica. They find some tiny scratch, say you did it even if you didn't, and demand money. And they threaten to keep your passport. A passport. What kind of people do that? It's scary, The tourist is probably panicking, thinking about missing their flight and just pays up even if it's a lie. I bet they're traumatized, honestly. And the shop owner. They get away with it most of the time because who wants to fight that in a foreign country? Oh, and sometimes people just give you stuff. Flowers, a little souvenir on the promenade near Hotel Crikvenica. A gift. Then they demand you pay for it. It's so aggressive. Like you didn't ask for it, it's just rude. I bet people feel awkward and pressured and end up paying just to get rid of them. Then the seller, they just move on to the next tourist. That's just exhausting thinking about it.
The reality of businesses near Hotel Crikvenica. Crikvenica, the businesses near Hotel Crikvenica are a masterclass in disappointment. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to be treated as an inconvenience rather than a customer, this is the place to find out. The reviews paint a picture of an area where service is an afterthought, prices are a joke, and the only thing consistent is the incompetence. Let's start with the bars. The drinking spots around here operate on a simple principle: take your money, dilute your drink, and ruin your evening. Maroda Bar is the crown jewel of this philosophy. Cocktails here are mostly water, served with a side of arrogance. One guest described their Aperol Spritz as water with a whisper of Prosecco. Hardly the refreshing summer drink one expects. The staff, unfriendly, unless you're a barely dressed tourist they deem worthy of their attention. Tables are mysteriously reserved, even when empty, and if you do get served, don't expect your glass to still have liquid in it by the time they clear your table. Then there's the medical care, if you can call it that. Thalassotherapy Crikvenica, a specialized hospital, seems to specialize in ignoring patients. Phones go unanswered, appointments are a myth, and the doctors. Let's just say bedside manner is not in their vocabulary. One reviewer waited 5 months for test results, a feat of inefficiency so staggering it could only be deliberate. If you're sick, pray. It might be faster. Restaurants in the area have mastered the art of serving disappointment on a plate. Restaurant Buren lures you in with promises of sea views. Except, surprise, there are none. The menu is overpriced, the portions are forgettable, and the service moves at the speed of a sleepy turtle. One guest waited 2.5 hours for soup, only to find it tasted like red water with rice. At these prices, you'd expect gold flakes in your broth. Bistro Corso is where orders go to die. The waitstaff act like your presence is a personal insult. Meals arrive wrong if they arrive at all, and the food is aggressively mediocre. One diner found sharp plastic in their meal, bonus crunch, no extra charge. The pizza, sparse on cheese, heavy on regret. And then there's Sabia Restaurant, lounge bar nightclub, a place where chaos reigns. Waiters charge extra for parmesan, forget orders for hours, and ignore public indecency. Yes, really. One couple was caught in, shall we say, a very private moment on the Sunbees and the staff's response. Charge them for the rental and serve them more drinks. So what's the verdict? Businesses near Hotel Crikvenica are a gamble, one where the house always wins. Unless you enjoy being overcharged, ignored, or served mystery ingredients, you might be better off packing a lunch, 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 packing a lunch.